All right, cool. So, welcome to our first beginner speech and debate workshop for the fall semester. For first things first, let's just go around the mentors, and all the mentors we can introduce ourselves. My name is Emily. I am a junior at the Woodlands College Park High School, and I am a former impromptu speaking and Lincoln Douglas debate competitor. Iman?
Hi everyone, my name is Iman. I'm a sophomore at the Woodlands College Park. My main experience in speech is through DECA and Science Fair. I'll pass it off to Zoe.
Hi everyone, my name is Zoe. I'm a senior at College Park High School, and my main experience, like Iman, comes from DECA and Science Fair, and I'm also doing Envirothon these past 2 years. And I'm going to pass it on to Nikita.
Hi guys, my name is Nikita Nair, and I'm a sophomore at College Park High School. And a lot of my speech experience comes from Science Fair. And I'll just pass it on to Sathika.
Hi, my name is Sathika Akala, and I'm also a sophomore at College Park High School. My experience is mostly impromptu speaking and Science Fair. I'll pass it off to Isabel.
Hi everyone, my name is Isabel. I am a 9th grader at the College Park High School. My main experience with public speaking is 3 years at a public speaking club called Toastmasters, where I got to learn more about impromptu speaking. I'm going to now pass it over to Avery.
So I'm Avery. I'm a freshman at College Park High School, and I have 2 years of experience in debate and impromptu competitively.
Allie?
Hi, I'm Allie. I'm in 9th grade at College Park, and my main speech experience comes from Science Fair and pretty much Science Fair. Yeah.
All right. So let's just, first things first, let's give you guys a quick background on Teach2Learn as a whole. I don't know how many of you are in other workshops like the Matthew IL, Science Fair, etc. But one thing that you guys will notice is that we don't like to treat this like a regular class, in the case that the goal here is not necessarily to teach you everything you need to know about speech and debate. The goal here is to help you guys figure out, do I like speech and debate? Is it something that when I go to high school, or even just for the rest of junior high, is it something that I want to look more into? Is there something I want to get better at on my own? That being said, we are all high schoolers here, as you've just heard. So if there's any confusion, questions, concerns, feel free to communicate with us, because we are certainly not perfect. So these are the 3 main topics that we'll be discussing over the course of the fall. So we're just starting off with basic introduction to speech and debate, very foundational ideas. And then we'll be moving into fundamentals with impromptu speaking. So impromptu speaking is going to be where you make up a really short speech in response to a prompt with a given amount of time to prepare. And that can be people can get nervous about it, and that's totally normal. But what's nice about it is that you don't have to spend, a bunch of time at home typing up a whole script and memorizing it. You just go on the fly, and that's a really important skill to have. And then third, we'll be going into how to incorporate current affairs and making very prevalent arguments and incorporating those into your speeches. So just for today, we will be first kind of outlining the importance of public speaking. So why should you guys even bother caring about public speaking? And then we'll have a quick icebreaker. We'll talk about devices, which is an important concept to carry into the future. We will do a little debate activity, and then we'll end things off with a closing question.
Okay, so why does speech and debate matter? It's mostly because it is applicable to nearly all fields in some shape or form. Like, for example, entrepreneurship, you need to pitch your company and try to convince someone to either buy or endorse your product. And on top of that, there's a more personal experience I'm sure a lot of us can relate to or soon will be able to is science fair, because in science fair you'll be required to communicate your results in a concise and clear way so the judges can understand you. On top of that, there's similarly class presentation. You want to be able to get a good grade in your class. And the last one that's not really on here, but I believe is important for further down when you're an adult, is interviews. Because interviews are really crucial in the real world, and you want to have those great speech and debate skills in order for you to get the job you are looking for.
Okay, so with that kind of idea, right? Speech and debate is not just, applicable to the real world in the sense of politicians giving speeches or having debates on TV. It's not just about giving speeches, frankly. It's just about presenting yourself and being able to communicate in an effective way. So for the icebreaker, we're going to have you guys type in your answers to these questions in the speech. If you look right above this voice channel that we're in right now, you'll see a speech discussion text channel. And you'll be able to type your answers in there. So first things first, what field or job do you want to go into when you grow up? Or what currently interests you? What general area? If you can't find the discussion channel, let us know. And we'd like everyone to answer this question. Banking. That's interesting, actually. Animation. Ooh. Computer science. Engineering. Got some STEM people in the house. Medical research. Nice.
These are all really interesting ones I haven't even thought of.
Yeah.
Like animation or banking.
All right. So, and while you guys are thinking about this, they also want to think about, how do you think being skilled in public speaking and create. Amelia, were you in our summer workshops? For those that have already been in our summer workshops, you would want to go to you want to attend our advanced workshops, not our beginner ones, which is the reason for that.
The advanced ones will go into more details that the beginning workshops cover.
The advanced workshops are a continuation of the beginner workshops. We're just doing the beginner workshops right now, so there's a lot of parallels to the summer.
Mm-hmm. And anyway, if you ever want to attend that one, it's on Saturday.
Yeah. So, how do you think being skilled in public speaking and creating speeches can contribute to success in that field? And for some of you, that might be difficult to think of things right now, because obviously none of y'all necessarily want to go into a field where you would be constantly giving speeches, right? But think carefully about, for what reasons might you have to communicate with other people in a professional setting in the job that you're looking for. So, for example, computer science. For computer science, it's really easy to kind of overlook the importance of communication, because when you think of computer science, a lot of people just think of a guy sitting by himself at a computer programming all day, right? But when you work on big projects in computer science, you're going to have to work with a lot of other people. And in order for everything to stay cohesive and understandable, you're going to have to provide documentation and discuss what you did and present what you did to other people. Interviews are also very widely applicable. And in engineering, and this also applies to medical research as well, whenever you are working on something, you're doing research or for animal research as well. Whenever you're conducting research or you're developing a new innovation, you're going to have to present that to other people. So just like how that's a thing in science fair, that's also a thing in real science. And because if you do research and then you find something out, well, there's no point that you found that thing out if other people don't know about it. So it's important to memorably and effectively tell other people what you learned. Being able to explain the benefits of using your and also just communicating. Well, depending on what area of banking you do, but you'd have to communicate with people on a common basis. Let's see. But it's something to think about, though. Even if you don't end up, being super excited about speech and debate by itself, I hope you guys will be able to recognize, being good at it is something that can carry you really far in pretty much any direction in the future.
Yeah, that's a crucial part of it too, because public speaking debate is not just a 1 or 2 year thing, but it's something skills you're going to use your entire life.
So. Yeah, I can definitely say, like, even though I don't compete in speech and debate anymore, it's something that's helped me so much in like every aspect. Exactly, presenting some kind of project or like innovation that you created, and breaking down how it works, demonstrating to people like how it would be used.
And even like on non-professionally, even just like in your personal life, being able to communicate your ideas to friends or family is also very useful.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we got some good answers out of that. So we're just gonna play a couple minutes of this short video, and I want you guys to kind of pay attention to how the speech. Can you guys hear it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Hear that? That's nothing. Which is what I, as a speaker at today's conference, have for you all. I have nothing. Nada. Zip. Zilch. Zippo. Nothing smart. Nothing inspirational. Nothing even remotely researched at all. I have absolutely nothing to say whatsoever. And yet, through my manner of speaking, I will make it seem like I do. Like what I am saying is brilliant. And maybe, just maybe, you will feel like you've learned something. Now, I'm going to get started with the opening. I'm going to make a lot of hand gestures. I'm going to do this with my right hand. I'm going to do this with my left. I'm going to adjust my glasses. And then I'm going to ask you all a question. By show of hands, how many of you all have been asked a question before? Okay, great. I'm seeing some hands. And again, I have nothing here. Now, I'm going to react to that and act like I'm telling you a personal anecdote. Something to break the tension, something to endear myself a little bit, something kind of embarrassing. And you guys are going to make an awe sound. It's true. It really happened. And now I'm going to bring it to a broader point. I'm going to reel you back in. I'm going to make it intellectual. I'm going to bring it to this man right here. Now, what this man did was important, I'm sure. But I, for one, have no idea who he is. I simply Google image the word scientist. And now, you see, I'd like it to seem like I'm making points, an argument, inspiring you to change your life, when in reality, this is just me buying time. Now, if you don't believe me, let's take a look at the numbers. This is a real thing that's happening right now. The number of talks that I'm giving is 1. interesting facts imparted thus far in said talk, well, that's going to be a 0. My height in inches is 70.5. Note the 0.5 there. 2 times 6 equals 12. And then interestingly enough, 6 times 2 also equals 12. That's math. 352 is a 3-digit number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Following that, we get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, to add more filler here, I'm going to give you a couple more numbers to consider. 18. 237.
All right. I'm just gonna pause it there so I don't have to make you guys sit through the entire thing, but you guys kind of get the gist of where this is going. It's basically him pretending to give a speech by demonstrating how a good speech would work without any content to actually talk about. So to just think about this a bit, what devices or what did you notice about the speech, just in general, anything? Did you notice that made him seem more professional, or that made the audience want to listen to him? And again, you can just type your answers into that discussion text channel. Oh.
Ooh. Message disappeared.
Confidence, yeah, that's a big one, and we'll go into that in a lot more detail. Hand gestures.
Unshine as well.
One way to put it, yeah.
Definitely think he was unshy. Yes.
But is there anything that he said specifically that was like memorable?
What about like the way he talks? Is there anything that stood out to you from there? Or just the whole thing in general?
I don't have anything to say at all.
Oh, he's just quoting them then.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, funnily enough, it kind of like works though. Even like even a statement like that, it almost attracts your attention by virtue of confusing you.
Because he says it so confidently too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it looks like definitely the most like impressive thing was the confidence though. So let's just talk really quick about the concept of devices. And we'll go into more detail later on. But for now, just understand that devices are little techniques that you can use in your speech to make it stronger. So we pointed out body language, but there are also specific things that he said. He used a question, right? He said, how many of you have asked a question before? And when you ask a question, you engage the audience and you force them to, by answering your question in their heads or by show of hands or however, to listen to what you're saying. Then you have the personal anecdote where you say he pretends that he's telling you an embarrassing story, and that leads to you to trust him more as a speaker because he's more relatable. And then you have statistics, which for him, he was just saying numbers, but you guys, I'm sure you guys can understand in an actual speech with about a specific topic how when someone gives you statistics to back up what they're saying, how it makes them seem a lot more trustworthy. And then bottom line, like you were always saying, definitely the confidence thing. And confidence is something that you can't really just manifest on the spot from the very beginning, right? It's something that you have to build up over time with practice. But you can see how powerful it is. Confidence gives you the ability to go on a stage with nothing and then give a speech in a very impressive fashion. And that's something that you will be able to take everywhere with you, you know? Like, for example, class presentation. Oh God, I have a class presentation in 5 minutes and I haven't prepared at all. But then if you have that confidence, if you have that experience backing you up, you can walk in there and still give a great presentation. And that's the really cool thing about confidence. But also keep in mind these other aspects, these smaller bits, but together they are really powerful in engaging the audience. All right. So probably for the rest of this workshop, we're just going to be doing a kind of quick little debate activity. So what we're going to do is that we're going to split into 2 groups, and the mentors are going to post polls in the speech polls chat. So you guys see right above the discussion, there's polls. And you guys will be able to unmute at this point. You're going to respond to the poll with your person, and then you guys are going to discuss why you chose your answer. So it's not really going to be a debate in a formal sense, but you guys are going to have to pick a side between 2 things and explain why you chose that side or why you think that side is better. And that's being able to explain your reasoning for things is going to be a really important skill to have in both speech and debate. So, and you'll should be able to respond to what other people are saying as well. If someone on the opposite side says something that you don't agree with, you are perfectly allowed to respond to what they just said and say, "Hey, well, you said this, but I actually think it's like this." So, first things first, we will put half of you in the other voice channel so we can split y'all into 2 groups. I can just drag half of you into the group 1 voice chat. Let's see. Just don't panic when I do it. Let's see, 1. Let's see, that's 5. And then 3 of the mentors can head over there as well. 1. Sorry, apparently I can't count. All right.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
To get started, we'd appreciate it if you unmuted or if you want to turn your camera on. There.
Working.
Zoe, did you say something?
Okay.
So the poll we're going to be using today, you can see it in speech polls. If you scroll up, there should be a text channel there, and then you can react to the polls about cats or dogs. Okay, has everyone done that? Zoe, we can hear you.
I guess I can't turn my camera then.
Has everyone reacted to the poll? You can type in the discussion channel if you don't want to unmute. Okay, I'm going to assume everyone has reacted. So we're going to start off the debate, kind of, or like you explain your side. So I guess I'll go first. If I were to react to the poll, I'd choose cats. And that's mainly because I'd say they're a lot more lovable than dogs, and they don't cost as much money. Do any of the other mentors want to explain their choice?
I can. I chose dogs because I have a dog and I really love him, and they're just really sweet. They're smart, they're playful, and they're soft. I just think that they're really great.
Awesome. Avery?
Avery.
We can't hear you, Avery. We can't hear you. Zoe, do you want to go?
Sure. Well, I second Avery, and if I had to respond to that poll, I would also choose dog. Under the similar reason, I also have a dog, and it's just very exciting every day to wake up. You have this dog downstairs. It's always willing to greet you, like it puts you in a really happy and energetic mood. On the plus side, you have to like walk your dog, and while this could be like a potential disadvantage in a way, this makes you like exercise every day, and that's a really positive benefit of having a dog.
Awesome. Do any of the students want to go? And remember, if you don't want to unmute, you can type in the discussion channel. Okay, I see Sean is typing. Well, while we wait for them to finish typing, I guess I'll continue on. Well, okay. Sean said, I voted dogs because they're playful, smart, and cute. True.
And if you guys do want to talk, we're not gonna like judge you for your opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly just trying to open up here. Oh, wow. That's okay. Okay, so Justin, you said dogs are better because they show more love and companionship. Man's best friend. You can do many activities with your dog, like walking, playing catch. There's not a lot to do with cats. So I guess a rebuttal to that could be that you could potentially walk your cat even though most people don't do it, and that's literally just up to you. You'd be seen as kind of weird, but you can walk your cat, and then you can also do certain activities with it as well. I know some cats are kind of cold, but you can't stereotype them all as being that and not showing as much love, just like all dogs are different as well. Does anyone have a rebuttal to that? Or does anyone want to add on?
Wait, can it be a mentor also?
Yeah, I guess.
I never mind.
I would say one thing that's kind of a negative for cats and kind of a plus for dogs is that you don't have to like clean a litter box. You do have to still clean up after your dog, like when you go on walks and stuff, but at least it's not like in your house, I guess unless they're puppies and you're training them, but that could be an issue for either side.
That's true. Do any of the students want to elaborate on this? Justin, Sean. You can
Oh, Sean's typing.
Yay. Sean says he would not want to clean up a mess inside the house. Does anyone agree with him?
I guess a rebuttal to that, like when you say that, it might smell and you don't want it in your house, usually they have lots of litter that's scented, so you won't smell it as much. And people usually have rooms that they specifically put their litter boxes, so it's not in eyes view of guests.
Oh. Okay, so Justin says dogs can lead to meeting new people because many people with dogs often communicate with others using their dog as a conversation starter, and that's another plus. There's also the part of being active and walking your dog, which is true.
And just to add on to Justin's point, like just today, I don't remember why, I was reading something that's like, for statistic, you could add that when guys are walking with their dog, they're 3 times as likely to get a girl's number than without a dog. So you could add that as a statistic.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, Emran, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they said, I prefer cats because I dislike animals which have a lot of energy. I guess cats are kind of stereotyped to be towards like introverts or like people who aren't as energetic. And I get where you're coming from. Honestly, people are really busy, so say if you don't have the time to walk your dog every day or you don't have the time to take care of them, then cats would be a better option.
Ooh, I like that everyone is participating.
Okay, so
I don't know what this.
yeah, Ali, you were saying?
Sorry, go ahead. I was just saying, I don't know what this person's name is, but their username is Lowkey. They said you would have to worry about it running away. And to that, I would say, really, either a cat or a dog could run away.
Yeah.
I have friends whose cats have run away. My old dog ran away a couple times, so I would say that's an issue for both sides. That's really about training your dog or cat.
Oh, that's fair. Do y'all think we should move on to the second poll?
Yeah, I think they've participated enough and they kind of get the idea.
Okay. So since y'all kind of see what we're doing here, we're going to move on to the second poll, which you can see in the speech polls, and it's between PC or Mac. So does anyone want to tell their opinion and why they feel that way? Okay. Windows is so bad, I can't open Minecraft without it sounding like an air conditioner. Well, actually, my brother, he plays a lot of Minecraft, and we have both a PC and a Mac. He can't open Minecraft on the Mac because it overheats, but then we have, like, the Windows, and it opens up just fine. So I think it really depends on your model, unless you want to defend yourself.
I mean, you can still, if you have like a newer model of Mac, then like of course you can play it. So like it depends on how new of a model you're willing to buy.
I mean, we have a new model though. It still does not work.
My brother plays it on our Mac, and ours is like 2 years old.
Wow. Okay, Justin, you said PC is so much better. Where are your statistics? Let's elaborate. Okay, so PCs have more RAM space. Sorry, did I interrupt anyone? Okay. So Sean says PCs because more RAM space, generally it's faster, and you can access more apps and applications. Okay.
Also, another thing for Mac, like personally, if you have lots of Apple devices, like if you have an Apple Watch, that has a good ecosystem with other Apple devices. So it can also depend on like what kind of devices you have in general. Because I can open my Apple Watch with my Apple Watch, you can open like your MacBook or whatever. So it also
Yeah,
depends on what you have.
you can connect it to your phone and stuff. Get texts. You can have your calendar on there, alarms, reminders, stuff like that.
I guess for individuals who don't like have Apple, they don't really see the benefit of having multiple Apple devices connected to that. Mac's battery is really bad.
My battery's pretty good. I guess battery might also depend on like, it could depend on model too.
PC doesn't. Oh wow. Statistics. Okay, so there's the argument that Macs cost a lot more than PC. And I guess that is true. But again, it really does depend on the model.
Plus, you say you have to get the parts for it. So some people like, if you're older, right, you're not gonna be like buying parts. You're not gonna be looking up all this stuff to how to build a computer. Sometimes it's just easier to buy it if you don't know how to build it. So
Yeah, it could be like the argument could be very situational.
I guess let's just talk about desktops then. To reach the situation. I don't know how to say that. Like, there's a lot of variability with models, so let's just think about desktops and like, which one would you prefer? Okay.
Ooh, Justin is typing.
Okay, yeah, Macs, they are pretty overpriced, honestly. Also, like, looking at the keyboard and the mouse for a Mac, they cost so much to replace.
Yeah. And like mouses too, if you want like something like that, you also have to go and buy it. Like it doesn't just come with it.
Yeah. It's 10 minutes to open Chrome.
just another reminder, if you guys want to actually like talk instead of text, you could also do that.
Yeah. That would help with the notifications as well. Oh.
Okay, so Justin put in like a statistical kind of argument.
Does anyone want to dispute that? I mean, it's a fair argument.
Wait, isn't it? I mean, I'm not sure of this, but I heard from like somewhere that like Windows, since they have like so many apps, like some of them aren't as like well protected as some Mac apps. Isn't like it's more, it's harder to
Security might not be as good.
Okay, I see a lot of y'all saying PC. Like, explain why. Oh, I I see. Never mind.
Are we gonna have a third pool or no?
Hmm?
Are we gonna have another pool?
I don't think so. Unless you'd like to like create a question and just like pitch it to everyone.
Oh yeah, on a Mac you can definitely run a lot of tabs. I've had probably like 35 tabs open at some point, and like multiple pages and stuff, and it still works fast.
Because we could always do a poll over winter versus summer, right? Because that's
Oh, we could do that. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because like this is just like a back and forth at this point.
Yeah,
yeah.
anywhere.
Okay, guys, winter or summer? It's getting pretty heated.
Okay, just personally, I pick winter because you get winter break. The weather's the best because the cold's the best, and you get Christmas. And even if you're not religious, like just having that time off, it tends to be more of a the spirit. It's like the spirit of those times where like, people are more happy usually, and people are like they sing songs, and it's just like a happier time of the year. Versus summer is all like hot and yeah, it's just hot and yeah.
Well, I agree with Avery. I prefer the cold, honestly. Like, I used to live in New York and it was cold all the time. Really love that. And then also, winter break is something you can really look forward to. Like, it's not too long or too short, like summer break, where it just kind of drags on. But winter break, you can, like, actually kind of savor it because you know you have to go back to school, but you also have a break.
Yeah, I also agree with winter. I love the cold. It's like I much prefer it to being hot all the time. And the break is very nice.
That's also because we live in Texas.
Yeah, we have like the perfect winter because it's not freezing cold. We don't have to shovel snow or anything, but it's still like nice.
We don't get snow days, so
that's
we get rain
true.
days instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no snow. That's the sad part.
And but even if there's no snow in Texas or in our part of Texas, you could still travel to other states to, get snow. Versus during summer, no matter like where you go, really, you're not gonna find snow during summer.
Yeah, here we have a really long winter break. Like I know in some places they don't have quite as long a winter break. So we definitely like have more time to travel to other places. So you could go anywhere,
And it's also a good time to rest after school.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything.
Honestly, I do forget everything over summer.
I guess since no one else other than Loki is going for summer, I guess during summer you don't have to stress about school as much. Versus winter, a lot of it you're just, you might be doing projects or making up work or whatever. Versus summer is more just a free time.
Okay, so swimming, water fights, that's fair. Fair point.
Can't swim without freezing.
Yeah,
I suppose Yeah, I mean, unless you're in like an indoor pool or something, but there aren't many of those here unless you're like on a swim team. So, and then you're not swimming just to hang out. So, hot cocoa.
Yes.
Yeah, I think winter just has like a very cozy kind of feeling. Like you can be like all warm and it's just nice. The jolly vibe.
There's like
Exactly.
Christmas and other holidays happening
And there's Christmas songs.
there.
Plus, you give and give presents. You know, it's the you're giving other people stuff. Plus, you get whatever you get stuff too. So that's always nice.
Very I mean, summer vacation is kind of associated with all the tired hair. You're not wrong.
Well, I guess technically, if you go to other parts of like the U.S., it's not as hot in certain places.
Alright, guys, I think we can start to head back. A great discussion. Thank you all for participating. Okay, I'm just gonna drag people back.
Perfect. All right. So we are kind of coming to the end of this workshop. I'm going to screen share again, so you guys know the drill now. Just be sure to join that stream. Also give me a second. Okay. So, closing question to think about. And this is for all the questions that we did, not just any specific one. But even whether or not you had a super strong opinion on each question, were you able to see or understand the validity of the other side's points? Or could you understand their reasoning? And again, since we're all back together, we'll want you guys to revert to muting and typing. And another thing to think about, kind of like a second closing question that that isn't on the slide, but another thing to think about is when you were presenting your points personally, when you were arguing for the side that you agreed with, is there anything you feel like you could have done better? Is there any way you think you could have been more persuasive for the other side, towards the other side? Something that you can improve on in the future. Listing your points better. So organizing them and not just throwing them out as fast as you can. Chilling out, yeah. And to put it in a more fancy terms, keeping your composure is a very important skill to have. When, especially when you are really passionate about a topic. Being confident, yeah.
And confidence can grow with more time you get to prepare. I know this one is maybe some of your guys' first impromptu or first debate, but over time it'll improve, and with that, your confidence will grow.
Yeah, practice is always the best way to get better. I mean, you guys probably know that already from other activities, but that's just how it is. Another good thing to think about in the future for the future is something I discussed a little bit with my group, but being able to think about what not only what you're going to say for yours to support your side, but what the other side is going to say to support their side and how you can respond. So, for example, cats versus dogs, it's pretty easy to predict what the other side's going to say, right? Because it's a very common argument, and you've probably heard it all before. So, if you can anticipate what they're going to say, then how can you respond to that immediately? Wait, Braxton, what'd you say? I didn't catch. Oh yeah, fake it till you make it. That's totally valid. No, like that's fine. I think all the mentors here have probably done that at some point too. We don't start out confident, but you can definitely, if you can put on that kind of, if you can convince others that you're confident by kind of hiding your nervousness, that's also a really good skill to have, because no one can be confident like 100% of the time. All right. Well, that pretty much ends things off. Our next workshop is exactly 2 weeks from now, same time, same place. And we'll be going there. This workshop, obviously, we were kind of just feeling things out. There wasn't much structure to the debate, but we'll be going more into speech next time around, and that'll be a bit more structured, and you guys will learn a bit more actual like kind of knowledge about how to create a speech. But until then, thank you guys all for coming out and for participating. We appreciate it a lot. If you have any questions, just post it here or DM one of us. But yeah.
It was nice hearing you all debate about it. There's definitely some interesting points.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.